Can you hear me, America?
Yes.
Great, absolutely great. So, good afternoon, and we have a guest in the studio today. Now, every now and again, I have guests in that come in and we speak about different things about containing with Parkinson's. Now, Andrea, I've known Andrea for about a year. I would reckon at least a year, and she's
Yeah.
a vocal pathologist who lives in that big place over the water, over the
Over there.
Atlantic, over there. It's bigger than Scotland, let's put it that way. And she's a vocal pathologist. And I like to bring her onto the show so we can discuss things about voices because communicating with other human beings is a must if you've got a condition like we have. So, welcome to the show, Andrea.
Thank you so much for having me here. Yes, I'm calling in to the radio show from Michigan, Kalamazoo, Michigan. I'm so happy to be here. I do not have Parkinson's, but I do serve those that do have Parkinson's. I think
Yes,
it's such a valuable thing to have your voice, to be an advocate for yourself, and of course that continues on to making sure that you're thinking clearly and swallowing safely as well. So thank you for having
yes,
me and letting me talk about the important need for speech therapy.
of course. Now, I'm going to ask you some questions. So, I hope you're ready and hope you get a pen and a bit of paper. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. What is a vocal pathologist?
Yes, great. So in the States, it's pretty similar to overseas. So speech language therapist is, I think that's the abbreviation
Yes,
on your end. I'm a speech language pathologist, very similar. We both do speech therapy, and we both can have certifications after our intensive schooling and experience. If you are a speech language pathologist, speech language therapist, you can get certified and specialize in voice difficulties. But with
yes.
Parkinson's, it's the slurring of the words, the quickness of your words, your sentences, the breathiness at the end of the sentence. The treatment approach is unique for Parkinson's. And so that's why I encourage people to seek out someone that's specially trained in Parkinson's for the speech language pathologist or a therapist. A lot of people know of our profession as those that work with children to help with
Yes.
their language and speech sounds. But I have focused on adults, and I'm absolutely in love with supporting people in regaining what they feel like they're losing or have
Yeah.
lost.
I
I,
was just going to say that. Do you think it's more a retraining of your brain?
there is some retraining with Parkinson's because you have to learn a new way to regulate your voice and your pitch and your volume to make sure that it's heard and understood. But Parkinson's treatment is so unique, and that's why I'm in love with the challenge of it and
Yes.
the success that we get.
I was going to ask that. I was going to say, what made you get into voice
Yeah.
pathology?
So I've just always enjoyed the one-on-one tutoring. Initially, I wanted to be a school teacher. I got into tutoring, math tutoring and reading tutoring in high school, and I just love that one-on-one guiding to see them every
Yeah.
week. And so my dad knew someone who was a speech therapist that traveled around into homes for kids, and I shadowed her for a day, and I loved it. I loved the medical side of it. I love everything. So I went into that for schooling, undergrad and graduate schooling, and I went through only placements and employments for those with like adult issues like strokes and
Hmm.
Parkinson's.
Yeah.
And then in my outpatient clinic, the hospital, I got certified to learn more about Parkinson's because I was seeing those kind of clients.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic happened and I had to stop work. And I noticed that in that time frame of working one-on-one and learning and getting to know those people so well, seeing them 4 times a week or for four
Yeah.
weeks in a row, like you get to know that relationship really well, especially because they haven't gone through the hospital system yet. They're just
Yeah.
it's just a unique, aspect of therapy. They're not through the hospital and trying to learn how to live life again. They're adapting to the life that's in front of them. So they're motivated, but they haven't had all the medical complications. So when I had to stop work, I said, who do I love working with the most? What's the biggest challenge? What would be my ideal clientele if I opened my own private practice? And it was, without a doubt, it was those with Parkinson's. So I got
And we're so glad you do.
Oh, it's like it's so wonderful. It's so validating because I love what I do. I love the clients, but I love the community that like had
Hmm.
opened their arms to me, and I'm so grateful for that. Like you and several other people.
Well, what I'm going to say is we're proud of the things that you do not only speech pathologists, but we're Parkinson's nurses and people who look after us and understand it. Because some of these people have been working with Parkinson's people for 30, 40 years. And without that, we wouldn't have the support network